Gail Eugene Sayers was one of 3 sons raised by Roger Winfield Sayers and Bernice Ross. He attended the University of Kansas and with 4,000 all-purpose yards was named the Kansas Comet, but football was not a means to an end.
I went to college not as an athletic student, but a student athlete.
He was selected by the Chicago Bears as the 4th overall pick in the 1965 draft by owner, GM, and head coach Papa Bear.
And I want to give a special thanks to George Halas. A man who more than anyone else has made professional football what it is today. There's not much you can say about someone who's become a legend in his own lifetime, but I want to try. Mr. Halas is one of those rare individuals who is not content with things as they are, but sees things as they could be and works to make things better.
As a rookie, he exploded with an NFL record 22 touchdowns, capped off in December on a muddy Wrigley Field with 6 touchdowns. As great as he was on the field, his quiet wisdom and integrity made him the perfect choice for George Halas. Halas chose Gail to become the first African-American ever in the NFL history to room with a white player in 1967, Brian Piccolo. They were completely opposites who found themselves to be best friends through football. A true story that captured America's ideal of coming together in Brian's song. They became great friends, and it was Gail at Brian's bedside when he tragically passed away before the season started, a sober part of life's journey.
Reaching this point, however, is not as important as striving to get here. This is true in all professions, in all life's activities. There are doctors, lawyers, school teachers, plumbers, all who strive to do the very best to their abilities. We hear a lot today about how the American people have lost their dedication to excellence. I don't believe that is true. Each of us excels at different things, sometimes in areas that are only a hobby, more often in our life's vocation. The most important thing, however, is to strive to do our very best.
Though he had a terrific All-American high school and All-SEC college football career and was a key part of a Super Bowl championship team, it is his work after his playing career that may better define his life. Gene Edwards profiles Tyrone Keys, who is still giving 100% for a new set of teammates every day.
Never could have made it without you.
Tyrone Keys has helped send more than 1,000 kids to college as founder and executive director of All Sports Community Service in Tampa, a scholarship and mentoring nonprofit organization. Though the stakes are radically different from his playing days, every day is still game day for Tyrone Keys.
I get up every morning. I pretend that I got a game. I pretend I do the same thing that we did when Mike Dicker called us up right before each game. We got together and said the Lord's Prayer. I do that, and I head out to the schools.
Dad worked for FHA, and though Mom taught at Murrah, Keys became an All-American lineman at arch-rival Callaway. The Chargers winning 22 straight home games and a Big 8 title with one of JPS's earliest integrated championship teams. Tyrone still credits Chargers assistant Odell Jenkins as one of his earliest mentors. The Bear called him at home. Notre Dame, too. But Keys wanted to be part of something bigger in Starkville.
I'll never forget on recruitment day, Johnny Cooks called me, Glenn Collins, we decided that we were going to go to Mississippi State together. We talked to Willie Jackson, and all of us got on the phone talking to one another. Marty McDowell called, and we were saying we're going to go up there and we're going to do something special.
The telephone group hug finally paid off in the team's Sun Bowl season of 1980.
I'm Pat Summerall, and this, of course, is Tom Brookshire. We're at the Sun Bowl, an event that we perhaps love to cover more than any other.
What a day this is. Even for El Paso, this is outstanding. It's about 70 degrees, a slight breeze, and both clubs are really queued up, ready to go.
Collectively, the two.
And it's a good one. Tyrone Keys, he's the big fella.
Wing fakes. Ball is not loose. Mississippi State comes up with it.
Tyrone Keys.
I don't know what to tell you about that. Quinn fakes. Keys puts the pressure on, and Tyrone Keys has the sack of Jeff Quinn.
They beat the block of Mandelko, the offensive right tackle. Number 98, Tyrone Keys. He can physically change the play because he can come right over and through people. And there he is. 6'7".
State won 4 of its first 5 before getting spanked at home by USN.
But we had made a commitment in that locker room after that Southern game that we were going to win the rest of our games, and we had to play for each other.
Proving once and for all that good can indeed come from bad, State regrouped. The Southern Mississippi loss had occurred on October 11th. On October 12th, the Bulldogs made a commitment. They declared a new 5-game season. They decided right then and there to win all 5 of those games. The fact that Miami, Auburn, Alabama, LSU, and Ole Miss were those 5 opponents didn't matter. Miami, a nationally ranked team that would go on to win the Peach Bowl, was first on the list.
Jim Kelly, you are on the clock.
In the Orange Bowl, the Hurricanes went into the game with what was statistically the nation's 3rd best defense. The Bulldog defense had another day in the sun, too. Johnny Cook scored a touchdown on a pass interception. And the defense demonstrated the first of 3 straight goal line stands that would win 3 consecutive football games. Mississippi State fired the shot heard around the football world. Mississippi State 6, Alabama 3. Mississippi State not only scored more points than Alabama, the Bulldogs beat the Crimson Tide in every facet of football. No less an authority than Paul Bear Bryant called the state victory decisive and strolled to the south end of Mississippi Memorial Stadium to personally tell the Bulldogs that. Emory Ballard, the man who invented the wishbone offense, had designed a defense to shut it down. And the defense did. In a wild Mississippi State dressing room, Ballard told newsmen, "We played from the ground up, start to finish, and never once let up. This is a great bunch here who decided they wanted to be something better than average. I'm proud for them, and I'm proud for everybody who loves Mississippi State." From there, with the seconds ticking away, Alabama went with its strength. Wishbone, triple option right.
My favorite Mississippi sports memory is, of course, being right over there at Veterans Stadium and beating Alabama 6-3. With 22 seconds to go, I'm on the 4-yard line.
Jacobs, long snap count, goes to the fullback. Fumbles the ball. Bulldogs recover. Bulldogs recover. Bulldogs recover. With 6 seconds, the Bulldogs recover. Jack, I don't really know who came through and made the hit. Of course, we're going to get a penalty for delay of the game with all these players, but I could care less right now. Somebody just made a tremendous hit from the left side.
I can feel it like it was yesterday. I can smell the sweat, the grunting, and you can just sense that Alabama thought that they were going to win that game.
I remember us in the huddle. We started to panic a little bit because if you remember, they hadn't even been across the 50-yard line the whole game. So Billy Jack and Tyrone was kind of like the senior leader of the defense that year, Larry Friday. So guys in the huddle started like, come on, man, we can't let it get away, we can't let it get away. So, we 30 seconds, 30 seconds. And so they were rushing to the line because we was kind of disorganized. And I remember getting up and Tyrone told me, we're going to make a big play, you're going to make a big play.
With Keys playing a key role on the game's key play.
When I saw Jacobs run my way, I was thinking, he's not coming this way again.
Let's take a look at our All-State Good Hands flashback. The last time Alabama lost in the regular season as number one was all the way back in 1980. Tied 3-3 late in the fourth quarter. Dana Moore's 22-yard field goal put the Bulldogs up by 3. Alabama marched down to the 2-yard line, but Tyrone Keys hit quarterback Don Jacobs. It forced the fumble. Mississippi recovered and ended Alabama's 28-game win streak in their hopes of an unprecedented third straight national championship.
School record at State with 10 sacks in 1980, 26 for his career. The Jets drafted the 3-time second-team All-SEC pick in the 5th round, but he got a better deal with the CFL's British Columbia Lions. 2 seasons and 20 wins later, the Bears traded for Keys, who spent the 83, 84, and 85 seasons in Chicago, where fellow Mississippian Walter Payton took him under his wing.
Well, definitely, when I went there, I never forget meeting Walter Payton, and of course I grew up watching Walter Payton, and I appreciate him for taking me up under his wings and showing me the ropes.
Our foundation is to make a difference wherever that need or wherever that positioning may be, and that's what we do.
Walter's dedication to helping kids is evident even when it comes to the simplest of tasks.
I'd like to get into a situation when you sign autographs that you interact with that person somehow. Or you ask him questions about where he's from, what he's doing.
Walter, how are you? Nice to meet you, man. Pleasure's all mine. Who's that? That's my son, Simon. Hi, Simon. How are you? Yeah. Did you sign his ball for him? I'm glad to.
I have 2 kids, and if they had an opportunity to meet, one of their heroes, I would appreciate it if they, would give the courtesy to be just a little personal.
The temperature, winds gusting up to 35 miles an hour. And we'll see as the afternoon progresses what kind of an effect that will have. Butler looking away from Brown to Redden. Floats down at the 5, and Redden brings it out from there to about the 18. Cliff Thrift down to make the tackle. This time is where
Buddy Ryan has a new wrinkle, and that is to put Tyrone Keys in on passing down. They have their foot
direction. It away by Tyrone Keys. That was part of their package. That was part of the scheme. He's 6'8", and he batted it down.
Ahead 17-0, the stage was set for one final magic moment.
And now the winner that everybody talked about.
I wonder if
finally arrived.
Maybe they're cheering for the snow. The best thing about that day was the last fumble.
3rd down, 11 yards to go for Dieter Brock and company. Brock back to pass, the rush on. And hammered down. Pick up the ball. Picked up by Wilbur Marshall. Marshall running across the goal. Go. 20. 20. There's all the way. 15 yards. 5, touchdown. And a goal. Oh, man. What a way to end. Oh. Wilbur Marshall has scored for the Chicago Bears.
Because today they became the first playoff team in history to record back-to-back shutouts. First it was the Giants, and now it's the Rams.
I can still see it in slow motion when Wilbur Marshall picks up the ball. The Fridge is leading him down the field, and we all are just running with him.
Fridge ain't losing no ground now. he's right with him. You can't write a script for this, just the way it all ended.
Not to get theatrical, but I mean, how better can you write a script here for crying out loud?
And the snow starts coming down, and the fans went absolutely crazy.
The Bears were going to their first Super Bowl. Mike Ditka's thoughts turned to Papa Bear George Halas, the man who had hired him to get them there.
And I think right there, the old man was saying, that's the first time since '63.
And finally, a Super Bowl for the Chicago Bears. Walter Payton hugging Virginia and Ed McCaskey. Now linebacker Otis Wilson. Inside the Bear locker room, the owners of the Chicago Bears. She, of course, is a lovely daughter of the late George Halas, the founder, who was the coach of this team the last time they won a championship. And the fridge, number 72, William Perry. A team of destiny, according to Bud Grant, before this game started. And the former Minnesota Viking coach knew something there, because today they became the first playoff team in history to record back-to-back shutouts. First it was the Giants, and now it's the Rams.
This was earlier today in the Bear locker room as the Bears packed in preparation to go to New Orleans for the Super Bowl engagement with the Patriots. That's Tyrone Keys getting his gear together. We're just hard by the side of that locker room. We're in the weight room of the Bears.
Atlanta, bring on Dallas. This is for Mike and Papa Bear Halas.
This man walked in the room and said, if you just stand with me, if you just believe in me, we'll be at the dance in 3 years. And here we were.
I wanted the Bears to be the best. I wanted the Bears to have the best reputation. I wanted them to be the toughest, and I wanted to win the championship. And I told our team when I got there, I got good news and bad news. The good news is we're going to win a Super Bowl here. The bad news is a lot of you people aren't going to be here when we do it. And I didn't mean that to be cruel. I meant it to be factual.
One of the most dominant defenses ever saved its best for last.
The snap to Grogan, the blitz is on, over the left side he goes.
You know, we just took it at them, and we played Bear football today. You know, they tried to come out and do some things and intimidate us, but I think they learned that nobody intimidates the Chicago Bears.
You don't talk about the spread, but you beat it by 3 times at least with the 46-10 victory.
Well, the thing that Buddy Ryan had expressed to us all week long, that they were exactly the same team that we played the second game of the year. We just let them do all the talking all week long, and we knew we had a good game plan, and we came out and performed real well.
Isn't it too bad your dad wasn't here to see this? Well, I think he's been with us the whole season, and I think he's here with us now, and he'll be with us always.
I've had a couple friends who've been on losing teams, and they say it's no fun, and I'm just happy to be on a winning team.
Well, you know, it's more than a winning team, though, Henry. I mean, here's the chance that you all legitimately have of perhaps becoming the best team that ever played this game. And I'm sure that's one thing that keeps you hungry.
Well, I don't know. I think Tyrone would say the same thing. I want to be back here next year. This is a great feeling, isn't it, Ty? Coach Dicker told us, he talked to us last night, and he told us we got a chance to become one of the best teams in the history of football.
Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest team in NFL history, the 1985 Chicago Bears. Now, I know that may get me into some trouble in some cities that I visit, but I believe it is the truth. Cynics might say that I'm only hosting the 85 Bears today because the Green Bay Packers were here a couple months ago, and I was not going to be outdone. But as it turns out, after this team won the Super Bowl, it never had a chance to celebrate here in the White House. The day after Super Bowl 20, 500,000 Chicagoans turned out in 25 below wind chill weather to welcome the champs back from New Orleans. But Sadly, the day after that, we endured a national tragedy as the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded shortly after liftoff. And so the moment for the Bears to visit the White House was postponed, and the years went by. But shortly after I took office, someone at the NFL realized, hey, there's a Bears fan living in the White House. And they called my staff and asked if we could make this happen. And so today I'm proud to say to the players, to the coaches, to the staff of the 1985 Bears, welcome to the White House for this well-deserved and long overdue recognition.
And watching Monday Night Football, and my mom said, it's time to go to bed. But I said, no, Mom, I want to play pro football one day. And I never would have ever thought that when my dad took me outside to kind of throw the ball around, that this ball would have taken me places. But I want to tell young students, the ball without education and without the proper mentoring is a disaster. So I encourage the young people that they have to develop character, because football by itself is a non-transferable skill. But you can take everything that you learn from the coaches and the teachers, you can take with you and you can apply it, and you can parlay the game from the playing field to the game of life, and then come back and help the next generation on their journey.
So since God has given us His Hall of Fame of people who have gone before us and had great faith despite hard times, let us run with endurance the race God has set before us.